Hello everyone, petar.jacimovic here from vikinganalysis.com. I want to post this update on my position and the potential entry you can place before the non-farm employment change in about 1 hour. So this is a very big news in US, and the Fed is actually, they pay big attention to the employment, unemployment and employment in their country, and this will be the very big thing. So the forecast is about 180k. The previous was 255k. In my opinion, even if we see that the number near the forecasted, that is also okay in the US. So if we see big divergence, I mean big decreasing from let's say 30-40k or something, that will be the something big. But anything above 180k or near the 180k, this is still fine for the dollar. Also in terms of the potential rate hike in September or the incoming months. Watching the USD Japanese yen, my advice here is basically to, since we got the new fractal up here, and this fractal is at 103.98, 103.98. My advice is to place 104, to place the buy stop at 104 with a stop loss at this point, as like we see this price action here. My advice to place the buy stop if you want to trade a short-term perspective and try to benefit but for potential this news. I'm already positioned at bullish, and I'm in from yesterday, and I'm in plus like 25 pips, and this is a by the big position, and my stop loss is all the way below where is this fractal low, so, and this swing low at 101.70 area. So I prefer to have the space here and to catch that 1-1 on 1-2, actually 1-2 potential ratio I'm aiming on from this point here. But anyway, there is a still place that you can build position here. Buy stop 104 before the news, and potentially if the news, if we see the good numbers, and so on, the news can fill your buy stop, and then in that scenario your stop loss should be at 102 and 103 level. So let's say 103 level. So 104 entry, 103 stop loss, and these are all also the round numbers. So it's not surprise why the price stopped near the 2 round numbers and going sideways. So we see that very often on the short-term perspective. So price stopped exactly the 104 area, near the 104, and when we saw that bad the manufacturing from yesterday, the price went almost to test 103 area. Okay, so price is sideways in between the two round numbers, awaiting this employment change, which is the key event this week. So buying above at 104, stop loss 103, and targets pretty much the same as like I mark here. So at least the price should go to 106.75 and 107.35 area. So this is on the short-term perspective what I'm aiming. Okay, so I'm aiming in this scenario for 300 pips, and I'm done on this. So if the price go there, I really want to take my profit and take 1-2 ratio. But since a larger risk I have here, since this setup is built on the fundamental view and triggered technically, so there is a big potential that we may see the profits on this one. So this is my advice for the USD CAD. If we check the others, like for example pound USD, this currency pair is very tricky. I mean, I don't see any big fractal on anything on the daily time frame. They got the manufacturing very good. We got expansion, that's the why price spiked like this. But generally I don't want to trade these currency pairs, and there is no big big clues from that, from the key persons from Central, from the Carney, and about the rate hike, or cut the rate, pardon, about the cut rate in the Great Britain. So I don't want to trade this kind of when there is no strong fundamental view here. Only to trade because of the one news and we got one expansion in the one economic release. It's not a good deal for me. So it needs to be much stronger if I want to trade this short term. So this is for me very tricky. So pound USD is very tricky. We got on the daily that fractal, which is broken at this point, but again, this is not based on the fundamental, on the key fundamental factors. So I need something from the central bank. I need something big on this one, not only one economic release, which actually went very good for the British pound. Okay, so yeah, there is an up fractal there. We broke that up fractal. The stop loss, if you trade daily, should be all the way here, but again, I will miss this one. Also, I don't see the big space for the higher price, since we got this swing high 85 pips away and this like 170 pips away. So a lot of things here which is not in favor of the pound. So a potential cut rate and and so on and so on. So it's not good fundamental to trade a short-term perspective this currency pair at all. Just technically, if you watch, yeah, we broke that swing high and so on, but even though the price basically finished even below this swing high, so this is not good fundamental. So that's why I will not advise you to do anything at this point here. This can go both sides basically, pretty easily. It can go both sides. And the same with other currency pairs. Also, they're all very flat. I mean, fundamentally flat. USD CAD is maybe the second best option, as I spoke. We got this fractal. Basically, the price broke. This daily fractal is still active. It's upward fractal, and this is still active. Price is near this swing high, so we got some space there, but generally the price action at this point here, it's not so good, because if you want to place the stop loss, should be all the way at this point, and it's very big stop loss distance for the short-term trading. I mean, yeah, you can place all the way below this area and just go for the 1:1 ratio on this one. That's one option. But again, I like more USD Japanese yen, where we have a space for even 1:2 ratio to that resistance cluster. But if you want to trade the USD CAD, basically how I am doing, and most of the traders who trade the fractals, and the Bill Williams spoke about that. So it's much better to put a larger stop loss distance, but to establish the highest percentage of win ratio than to be stopped every time you try something, and especially when you trade a short-term perspective, a based trade on the daily or 4-hour time frame. So there, you don't placing the stop loss just below the recent swing lows is pretty much a bad game, and it's not so good game because of the noise of the news and so on. You need to have space and let the market, for any surprises, like in readings in some releases, like the US Japanese yen. So the US Japanese yen is clearly very strong bullish, but if you trade and base trade according to base trade, and you want to trade like lower frames and place the stop loss of just below the most recent swing low and so on, and especially when we don't have the fractals there, it's a very bad. This is a good idea to place stop loss at 103, since it's a round number and we got two fractals here. So this is a very good, if you buy stop at 104, place stop loss 103. In this example, yes, but here when I took this setup, basically this setup here, this fractal up here, I place the stop loss all the way to this point here. Okay, so all the way to the previous fractal. So you know, and I got this strong stop loss distance, 150 pips. So this is a very fine, you know. At this point, if you buy here, stop loss here, and have the 100 pip space, it's also fine. There is a 2 down fractals here. So yeah, again, in my opinion, this will be the best idea before this news release. So this will be all for this analysis. I hope you enjoyed, and again, if you want to start my mentorship program, learn how to read the fundamentals, how to base trade on fundamentals, and then position yourselves technically. So again, I'm open for any kind of cooperation. Just add me on the Skype, and we can speak about potential cooperation. Also read my journal on Forex Factory Thread, and that'll be all. We'll see what will happen after the news and so on. And till then, wish you good trading, and have a nice day.